Hey guys, in this video, I'll be adding more animations to the rooster character that I'm making, and then I'll be adding that and the double jump in Godot. So you can see here I'm creating the first walk animation. I'm positioning the bone that I want to move and then highlight that bone. And then while the mouse is over the pose mode window, you just hit I, and then you'll hit rotation. Click rotation, and then in the action editor, you'll move the timeline to the frame that you want it to be. I'm moving it, I believe, like 5 increments, and then I again just to set that keyframe with that rotation. I took about 20 minutes to get this walk animation right. Couldn't decide if I wanted to bend the knees or not. I went with a more sillier kind of cartoonish walk here, but you can see I'm just positioning everything and then setting those keyframes. Whenever I do move the head, you got to highlight that bone as well so that you can set it. Yeah, even just kept it where it kind of loops. I'll blend it in um, Godot. There's an option to blend the animations. And then here I'm now kind of making the wings flap a little bit as the rooster walks. So you'll move the bones to the position you want with the timeline set to the frame. You don't have to set too many keyframes. I believe I could have even done less with the walk animation. Um, as long as you have the keyframe set where with enough intervals, you can it'll like fill the gap pretty much. Yep, and that was good enough there. Renamed it in the non-linear animation header at the bottom to walk, and then you just send it down. You'll uncheck it so that the bones don't get affected by those animations. I uncheck the walk and the wave, and then now I'm going to be making a jump animation. And you can see here there's not as many, or is this the idle? There's not as many, yeah, this is the idle animation. There wasn't as many frames there, keyframes set. Yeah, that was the idle animation. And then this one is the jump animation. Again, I couldn't figure out whether I wanted to, bend the knees and all that. I decided I was just gonna bend it at the ankles, yeah, and then just have the wings kind of lift the rooster off of the ground. And the idea is this character here can do a double jump, and then the frog character or the toad character can't, but they can swim. And that's also going to be, that's why I have a second video about the death animation and adding that, just because there's more conditions for that. Cool. And by here, I was more familiar with animating the character. I usually just animate like humanoid characters with the Maximo. They already have the animations pre-configured, and you can just kind of load it to your character. But this was nice. This was like adding a custom animations to characters I created. A little bit of a learning curve, but it's fine. All right, and then I sent that down. Now I have the jump. I only needed one more. I need the death animation. So here I move the character completely lowered, and then when you do the keyframe, you'll do a location and rotation. Yeah, you can see I should have slowed it down there, but this animation only had one frame, and it's just set to position that rooster like that pretty much instantaneously um, in one frame. Cool, and now with all the animations created, you'll go into your Godot project and then export it as a GLB, GLBF file, And then I just took out a water spawn function that I was making there. So here's the frog. And then how I have it set up with the player file is that you have a state, or you have a current type, and then the current type can be set to um, either frog or rooster. And then here I'm saving each part to file. That just makes it easier to make changes. You have to do the same thing to the animation. You go into the animation editor, click on animation, and then make all the animations unique. And now you can rename, loop, and kind of change things as you need it. All right, and then I just imported that into the player node, the player scene here, and then make it local so that you can mess with the animation player and all that. Sized it down to be the same as the frog. And then all I did here is I just made the frog character invisible and then put the rooster. See, the animations aren't playing, but get a good size comparison and get an idea how to feel it out. And before I make any changes to the script, it's just good habit. I use Git. I don't not a advanced or anything. I believe this is. I usually just do a Git add and then a dot, and then I'll do Git commit -m, and then in quotations, I'll put the notes. Here you can see I was trying to get out of the honey badger branch, but yep, there. And then after that, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do a commit. Git add dot, and then that git commit -m, and then I just put a note add chicken. Yeah, see. Yeah. So the note of what I'm going to do or what's going on. I only ever had to restore back from a Git, but it does help. So if you get lost in a rabbit hole of here, let me try this, and then you break your game, it's nice to be able to go back. Yep, so in the stats file for each player, because it is a two-player game, I made a enum, there you go. It's a state machine that has two types, pretty much, two states, the frog or rooster. Not sure why, but with the current type, when you set it, you'll set it with types dot whatever type you're making. But when you print it out, it only goes out as the 0 or the 1. It goes as the index. So you can see here you're matching. I was matching the type of the lanes there, but I do that same method constantly for pretty much everything that has decisions. In the match statement, I'll just reference the 0 and the 1. So here I'm in the current state, and then those are the states of the player. Here you can see it'll match the current type. If the type is 0, which is the frog, then the rooster's model is going to be turned off. And then if it's the rooster, then the frog model is going to be turned off. And then just added all the play animations where they needed to be. So there you can see the player can walk, and they should be able to jump, but no double jump yet. I go with a if statement at the top to set it as false, and then only if the player is the rooster type, they can set it to true one time while they're in the air. Then it gets set to false if they hit jump again. At first I had the frog had a delay jump, but I changed that, and I'll add another video to show how I made a charge jump. But here you can see I'm still trying to figure out how I want to add that double jump. Just kind of playing around with it. And then I add the can 2x jump at the top variable, set it to false. There I set the, yep. And then if the player is not on the floor and can 2 jump is set to true, then you can have them jump again, and then it'll set it to false so that they can't triple jump. And from there it should work. Yeah, there you go, simple double jump. I do stop the animation and play it again so that it plays the animation later on. But yeah, I was pretty happy where this was at. So that'll be it for this time. Thanks for watching.